Thank you, President Hind. From time to time, an institution of higher education pauses in its affairs to take special recognition of individuals who have given unusual measure toward the betterment of humankind's intellectual, cultural, aesthetic, social, and civic fabric. In doing so, these remarkable people have touched the lives of others in significant ways. At this point in our ceremony, we take such pause to honor an outstanding individual. Just as the conferral of the doctoral degree is a university's recognition of the highest academic achievement, so also is the conferral of the doctorate honoris causa, a university's recognition of truly distinguished achievement beyond the classroom and campus. Today, Oakland University is proud to confer an honorary degree upon an outstanding citizen. I invite Mary Fisher to rise and step forward. It is with great honor and special privilege that Oakland University awards to you, Mary Fisher, the honorary degree Doctor of Humanities. The university wishes to recognize your transformative accomplishments as a leading humanitarian. You have demonstrated distinguished accomplishments and service within the scope of the arts, letters, sciences, professions, and public service as recognized and supported by the university. We honor you for contributing to the betterment of society and culture around the globe through your exceptional work as a philanthropist, author, and artist. Your work profoundly contributes to a deeper understanding of HIV/AIDS and demonstrates your commitment to giving voice to those facing discrimination, poverty, and powerlessness. You demonstrated courage by sharing your own story in order to lift the shroud of silence surrounding HIV/AIDS and challenging the nation to set aside prejudices and politics to make room for compassion and sound policy. Your advocacy has spanned 2 decades and the entire world as an individual and as a special representative to the United Nations. You have integrated art with action by training women in Zambia, Haiti, and other nations to make jewelry become artisans in their own right. In doing so, you have built a foundation for economic independence and strong communities. You established the Clinical AIDS Research and Education Fund to support clinical and outcomes-based research for persons with HIV/AIDS. You have contributed to the culture through your quilts, jewelry, handmade paper, photography, and publications. Your work as an artist and author has contributed to spreading your message of shared humanity, the need for compassion, and the value of a life of service. Oakland University is proud to recognize you as a distinguished individual of outstanding achievement by conferring upon you the degree of Doctor of Humanities honoris causa. I now request President Hind and Dean Fulberg to come forward to assist with the investiture. I now request, congratulations to our new Honorary Doctor of Humanities, and now I would like to invite Ms. Fisher to make a few comments.
Thank you very much. I'm deeply indebted to you, Dr. Hind, and to your distinguished colleagues for this generous Doctorate of Humanities. I receive it with humility, accept it with thanks, and know that it will long remind me of this extraordinary occasion. I am honored by the degree you have conferred. I am even more deeply honored to be addressing the first graduating class of this institution, Charter Class of 2015. You have completed a rigorous curriculum. You have proven yourself academically and scientifically qualified. You have earned your degree. What will now be tested is your character. And your character will dictate whether a patient is a number, a research subject, a medical mystery, or a partner. I've been a patient far longer than you have been physicians. I've known clinicians who knew my diagnosis but not my name, who examined me with the same devotion they'd have shown a mushroom. But if Beaumont School of Medicine has been successful, you will leave understanding intimacy. You'll know that when you ask my medical history, you are asking me to confide in you as an act of intimacy. Even if I had not survived a radical bilateral mastectomy, when you look at my chest, your very looking is an act of intimacy. I permit you to touch me only so long as you remember you are touching me. And I allow you to probe and observe only so long as you remember that these are acts of intimacy. Intimacy demands trust. If I doubt your motives, if I see you hurry to finish rounds and move on, you'll fail the test of intimacy, and I will never trust you. Intimacy requires vulnerability. I understand that you must ask me to show you my body, but do you understand it is an act of intimacy and that I would like you to show me your soul? 20 years ago, I began visiting the public clinic of Dr. Michael Sagg, an eminent AIDS researcher and physician at the University of Alabama in Birmingham. In 1993, Mike introduced me to Billy Cox, one of Mike's patients with AIDS, a man of great courage and humor, and an absolute commitment to defeat his own AIDS. Billy's the boxer in the ring, Michael told me. The rest of us are fans and trainers. We offer advice, help where we're able, and then cheer him on. But truth is, he's the one that keeps us going. It's not the other way around. Late in 1994, I was speaking to a large audience in Alabama. When I'd finished, out of the crowd, nearly blind, needing crutches to move toward me, came Billy the boxer. Came to give you a hug, he said. We all need a little support. 6 weeks later, 7 years, 4 months, and 3 days after he tested positive for HIV, Billy Cox died. November 23rd, 1994. And here's a story worth being remembered if we would honor the promise of the Beaumont School of Medicine. On Billy's last day, Michael was leaving town to speak at a conference. He dropped by Billy's room to say he'd be gone for a day. But when he heard Billy's labored breathing and saw the color of his skin, he called Billy's family together and told them that the end was near. Then he summoned Billy's nurses. As caregivers and friends, professionals, and loved ones crowded into the room, Michael Sagg, famous researcher, gifted physician, laid his head down on Billy's heaving chest and, unashamed before the crowd, he wept. In barely audible gasps, he sobbed, "I'm sorry, Billy. I'm so, so sorry." In that one act of overwhelming intimacy, Michael put his character on display without embarrassment. He understood science, he understood dying, and he understood intimacy. Thank you for the distinction of my degree. If I could give you one gift, it would be the courage to be intimate. I'd ask that when you cannot cure the pain and suffering, you stand ready to share it. I'd pray that you gain the nobility to be weak and the strength to endure your own weaknesses. It was not in Michael's hands to cure Billy, but it was in his soul to love him. And in such love, there is healing beyond science and beyond words. Congratulations, class of 2015. You've been equipped as fine scientists, great clinicians, wonderful colleagues. What lies ahead is the opportunity to prove that you will be intimate healers.